Okay. Can we go in? Nope, we can't. Oh my god, there's a pally with a stupid sword. Is that a stupid sword? Is he an off-tank? He is. He is a... He's got the entire judgment set and he's got... he's an off-tank. Fair enough. And he's got defensive, okay. Pally off-tank, that's you can't moan at that, I guess. Okay, so we're going to do UBRS and we are not going to get very far at the moment because we're still waiting for people to come. There's a couple of guys after the quartermaster here. But this guy's still 59. I don't think he can get the quest. And we're messing around with Jed yet again. I bet Jed is going to put in a complaint request because everybody keeps looking for him all the time. If I was Jed, I'd be putting a complaint into Blizz and say, people keep searching for me. Leave me alone. I value my privacy. Okay, so we're still waiting for one more person. There's still only 9 in the raid. I don't know. I really don't know. What are we going to do? We're going to get another DPS, I guess. Do we need another DPS? We could do the Hunter to fight the last boss, but I don't know what's going to happen here. Anyway, this video is going to be about healing. If you're starting out healing, or you want to be able to heal, or you don't know how to heal, or you haven't got experience of it, or you want any guidance on healing, this is what I'm going to do here. So the first thing you need to do as a healer is you need to get a decent healing add-on. You can use Healbot, or you can use what I've got, Voodoo, or there's Grid. There's a number of them out there, and what you need to do, you need to configure them for your spells. So we'll take this setup I've got at the moment. Okay, I think we're going to start. We need a second healer, and I'm the only healer in here at the moment. So I'm going to be healing 8 people. Oh no, we've got a third healer. Okay, cool. We've got Aldrine in there. Okay, as I said, you need to configure this for your spells. So if we look at the spells here, we've got left button, we've got right button, we've got shift control combinations. So these will basically determine which spell you're going to cast on the mob when you click on them. So, for example, I'm using Voodoo here. You switched from Healbot to Voodoo because of a simple thing which I wanted to achieve in Healbot, but I don't think it was possible. So now I'm using Voodoo. Voodoo is it's having the same effect as what Healbot has, to be honest with you. It picks up aggro. It shows you the healing spells cast on a particular target in the raid. The boxes flash when the target gets hit as well, but I've turned that off because it was causing a little bit of confusion with me. In particular, you couldn't see the player's health when they were constantly getting hit because the flashes were kind of brighter than what the health bar was, so I got rid of that. So you just need to sort out an add-on which is happy for you. You're comfortable with that, and you can get that configured with all your spells. So the first thing I would do is within the add-on, make sure you have got something which tells you if somebody's taking threat. So you see the little red box here. I know that Derek's taking threat, and I can see that Gunborg is taking threat as well. And I know those are the first ones going to be healed. And any proactive healing you can put on the tanks is great, because it takes some time for healing to set off on somebody, as you can see. I've got like a couple of seconds cast, and I can cast some spells, but sometimes they don't go off in time. So you need to get some proactive healing on the go. So it's good to see when there's threat coming in, and it's good to cast your heal in time. If you know a tank is going to be damaged, then you have to kind of start that heal off. So I know Derek's going in at the moment. Derek's got a renew on him, and he's got a greater heal renew as well, because I have got the full Transcendent set here, which is the tier 2 kit. So I know that I can cast a heal over time on him. I can cast a heal over time on Kefti. Snotcher's now going to get aggro, so heal over time on Snotcher. I can heal Derek off to full. Now that'll put another heal over time on it. And all I need to do now is just monitor the rest of the raid. Now their Snotcher's taking damage, but I've got that heal over time to mitigate that, so it's fine. Gunborg is now taking damage, so I need to heal him, but I could have got in there sooner, but because I've been talking and healing other people, I couldn't. Gunborg is taking more damage, so I need to cast another heal over time on there, and I'm going to start healing Kefti's now, because I think Kefti's is doing an AoE and it's sucking up his life. So you need to make sure that your proactivity is in place, so you can start getting all these heals off on the right people. In UBRS, it isn't much of a challenge. I'm the only healer at the moment, and this is not really that much of a challenge. For things like BWL, you'll find that you've got 40 people to heal, and everybody gets damaged in one sense or another, and it gets a little bit of a challenge there. But in here, it's fine. Now, I've got a button assigned to shield as well, so I can shield somebody, and you'll see that appears. And we know which icons represent what spells, so we know exactly what we've got on the targets in the raid, the people in the raid, so you know what to cast at the right time. So now I don't need to cast another renew, because I've got a timer on there, and I know when it's going to run out, so I can prepare the next one. I know my shield is going to run out in 4 seconds, so now I can cast another one. I know that Gunborg is taking aggro because he's got a red square, and I know that Keftis is taking aggro, he's got a red square, so I know where to focus my healing spells on. So I would say, out of everything about a healer, this is the first thing you need to get sorted, because you need to know who to heal first. The second thing I would say as a healer is that you need to conserve your mana. You need to absolutely monitor your mana 24/7. This is why I've got this number in the center of my screen. You can see it going up and down. That is my mana. When I get down to 20%, it sends an alarm, and I know that I am going to run out of mana. Because sometimes I'm not watching my mana, so I need an audible sound to remind me to look at my mana. Once you've got your mana regen sorted, if we take a look at my spells here, I've got 154.3 mana regen. So that's a decent amount of mana regen, but I've got the Shard of the Scale, which restores 60 mana per 5 seconds, and I've got the Rejuvenating Gem, which is very good. Like lots of tank videos you see, I'm doing this video in decent gear, very decent gear. A lot of the tank videos that give you instructions how to tank, you'll see that they've got Thunder Fury, which makes it 10 times easier to tank. And this is kind of the case here, because I'm healing in like the best priest gear at the moment. So the good thing about my set is that I've got this set, the 8 set chance. My greater heals now have a heal over time component equivalent to rank 5 renew, which is absolutely fantastic, because that means you can put 2 renew spells on at the same time. And if you notice, if I greater heal somebody, you see that green thing go on the bar there, and that means there's a renew happening. So I've got 2 renews on at the moment. If I greater heal myself, you can see that spell as well. So if I give myself a greater heal, you'll see there in the top right hand corner Greater heal, healing 63 damage every 3 seconds. It's not actually 63 damage because it spells with the plus healing I've got. And the plus healing I've got is 869. So that 63 plus the 869 gives me whatever that number was there. So it's kind of the healing scales with the kit, obviously. So the lower spells actually do give out a lot of healing, really. Which brings me on to the next topic in a raid. You always want to consider downranking spells. And what I mean is you downrank spells, which means using the lower version of that spell. And you downrank spells because of, if I take Flash Heal, for example, that one's 185 mana, but rank 7 is 380 mana. Now, if you're going to be casting rank 7 constantly in a raid, you're going to run out of mana extremely quickly. So I've got my Flash Heal set to rank 4, and that doesn't heal a lot. It heals a little bit, and that's all I need it to heal for. Because most of the time, I just need to top the people off. And if I cast Flash Heal on me, I'm getting healed for 846. A lot of the time, that is all somebody needs topping off with, because that is probably about 20% of somebody's HP. Obviously depending which class it is, but you can get away with healing that much. So only 4 heals on a particular character will heal them up to full. But if you've got the capability to put on another type of heal, like for a priest renew, if you have got another spell, like say for a druid, you've got healing over time spells on that. That's important to consider too. You might want to downrank those spells because they do take up a lot of damage, a lot of mana as well. The thing is with the heal over time spells, they tend to take up a lot of mana anyway, compared to the comparative single heal, single target spells. So over time, you'll find that you get a lot of overhealing from these spells that heal over time. So like renew, rejuvenation, life bloom, and spells like that. So you need to plan the renews or heal over time spells so that you're not actually getting a lot of overhealing, so unnecessary mana waste. So with that, what I do is use a lower rank plus shield to basically conserve my mana a little bit. Now, shield does use quite a lot of mana, but it's worth putting shield on sometimes as a tank, for emergency protection when a tank needs it, but also shield lasts for 30 seconds, and it means that you only need to cast it once, which can transition through multiple packs. So it's not like you're shielding every single time you engage a pack. If the shield still stands at the end, okay, what's going on here? We've got some people running into this room, some people running into this room. Yeah, shield is quite good to give to a tank sometimes because it will transition to another pack. But understandably, some warriors don't like shield being cast because you get rage every time you're being hit, which is fine. But if you're a decent enough healer and you can heal the rest of the team, it's not much of a problem casting shield. So there's that to think about as well. Use your spells wisely. Watch your mana wisely. You've got to make sure that you're not going to pull aggro. So Darak's going in at the moment. He's a pally, so it's not a big issue. But you don't want to go in to the tank. When the tank goes in, you don't want to pull off a massive heal to begin with, because you're just going to pull aggro, so you just need to be wary of that. So if you notice I haven't got Blessing of Salvation up here, and because I haven't got Blessing of Salvation, I can see my threat meter if I click on something. Okay, something is still alive. I can see my threat is there. Well, it was there, believe me. Okay, we'll look on these guys here. So if I start healing now, you'll see the threat pop up. And sorry, that's my there you go, that's the threat meter. So I'm 5th on the list at the moment, And you'll see that the more I heal, the more my threat increases. So I've got 525 there, 758. I'm going up to 1k. And there's a very high chance of me pulling threat if I go in with a big heal when the tankers pull. You'll notice there that DPS are pulling threat as well, and they need a heal. So that's why I had to cast a shield on that road there. And that's another good thing with shield. It's an instant cast. You can use it immediately. It does protect those that needs protecting. I think providing you've got good DPS that pays attention to themselves. For example, warlocks that life tap all the time but don't bandage. Mages that go in and do lots of AoE and don't even think about moving away once they've pulled all the aggro. You know, that sometimes becomes a bit of a challenge, but so long as you know how to manage that, like pre-shielding the DPS before it goes in, and putting a renew on the DPS before it goes in, when you know that they're going to pull aggro, then you kind of get used to how they play after the first couple of mobs. You can protect the team. I know now Hefties is going to pull aggro. Snotcher's going to pull aggro because it's lit up. Good enough, we've got the tanks taunting that threat off them, so it's not much of an issue. I've got aggro now because it's the healing aggro I was talking about earlier. I'm top on the aggro chart. This has happened in certain fights. I'm second on the aggro chart there. So it's, you know, you just got to be wary about what you're doing as a healer. But I would say the biggest thing that you need to be considering when you're a healer is your spells. Get your spells sorted. You have to have an add-on which makes it easier for you to heal. Show your threats. Show the classes of characters. You also need to make sure you know when somebody's getting hit. That's the most important thing, because you know where to you need to know where to focus your heals. The difference between 2 seconds can sometimes be the difference of a tank being alive or dead. So, in reality, you need to make sure that's your priority. If you've got enough mana potions, if you've got enough consumables, that's the next thing you need to worry about. Yeah, that is so long as you've got your spells sorted. So consumables, we'll come on to consumables now. There are 3 consumables which I like to take with me every single raid or dungeon that I do. Major mana potion. You've got to have enough mana potions. You cannot go in with 1 or 2 mana potions. You've got to take a stack of mana potions. And I have got 29 mana potions with me. Dark runes and demonic runes. We'll class them as separate things, because I said there's at least 3 things I go in with. But you can basically say it's 2, because dark runes and demonic runes have to share the same cooldown. Dark runes do not share the same cooldown as potions do, so you can use them separately. So it means you can get like 1500 mana plus the 1350 to 2250 mana from the mana potion as well if you use them at the same time. That's a decent chunk of mana, that is. So that would really help you when you're in a raid fight and you're trying to stack up mana. For example, when you're fighting Twin Emperors in AQ, I get through at least 3 of these, 3 of those, and 3 of those in a fight. So, like, consumables usage is through the roof, really, because I'm using other potions, shadow protection potion as well. And using other consumables. But if you go to Fellwood, you can get the plant consumables from there as well. I can't remember which one it was from Fellwood now, but you can get the one that restores health and mana at the same time, and that's something else you can use as well. But don't make the excuse of running out of mana before you have used all your consumables. I know a lot of healers will run out of mana even before they think about using a mana potion. Don't wipe the raid or don't wipe the group just because you don't want to use a mana potion. Yes, I know a mana potion costs 5 gold, but the amount of money that you earn from a dungeon is more than that amount anyway. So use the mana potion. Don't be a bad healer, be a good healer. The healer is there to watch the raid and make sure the raid survives. Obviously, if people are going nuts and they're doing stupid things, then tell them. But make sure that the group survives. Timing your heals correctly, using the right spells is paramount. For example, now I'm not going to use a greater heal on Grumborg there because I know that if I just cast a normal renew, that'll heal him before the next pack that we get that comes through the gates here. Now, I was the only healer in this raid, but we've got a second one now. We've got Garon with us. So, I'm going to find it a lot easier. It wasn't that difficult to begin with, to be honest with you. But, and you can see my healing stats here. On average, I'm doing 424 healing per second. That's about normal, and you want to aim for that. What I haven't talked about is the mana, intellect, and stats, really. So the base stats you want to focus on. As a priest, being human, people will say you need to be a dwarf for Fear Ward, which is fair enough, yeah. But the amount of reputation that you need to grind, I prefer a human because, like, grinding reputation is a pain in the ass, and that extra little bit of reputation gain you get as being human is a lot better, I think. And the amount of fights you need Fear Award for is minimal, really, and the amount of reputation you have to grind throughout the game is just ridiculous. So stats wise, Spirit is important for a priest because it increases your mana regen. Now, I have a formula somewhere for that. And I'm going to read this out. I'm not going to write it on the screen. Where did I put it? Here we go. Okay, so the formula for Spirit is 13 plus the Spirit that you have divided by 4 equals your mana every 2 seconds. Okay, so I've got... how much Spirit have I got at the moment? 341. So it'll be 13 plus 341 divided by 4, and that's the amount of mana regen I get in my mana pool. That is not when I'm fighting, and also consider that when you're fighting, your mana regen, before it goes from mana every 2 seconds to mana every 5 seconds, or when you get back to your normal non-casting mana regeneration, there's about a 5-second delay on that from when you've entered a fight and when you come out of a fight. And you'll notice that when you're regenerating mana, it doesn't regenerate back to its normal mana regeneration rate immediately. There's a slight delay on that. So if you're casting a spell and the next spell that you cast is within 5 seconds, you're not going to get your standard mana regen rate. You're going to get an in-combat mana regen rate. So it's worth noting that as well. However, there are talents and kits you can get which will help you regen that mana. The Transcendence kit is very good because the 3 set allows you 15% of my mana regeneration to continue while casting. That is a very good stat to have as a priest because you constantly need mana all the time. If you're in a group with a pally, so if you get a paladin healer, they can cast Judgment of Wisdom on a mob, which means every time you deal damage to that mob, it regenerates mana. It's worth watching out for Judgment of Wisdom. If something has got Judgment of Wisdom on there, just wand it to death, and you noticed in combat your mana regen will be generating a lot faster than it would do usually. So you need to watch out for these different things as a healer. Plus healing is useful for a priest. Plus healing is very useful for a priest. But what I would say as a priest, there are different things that are more important sometimes. For example, mana regen is important for the priest. Purely and simply because plus healing isn't everything. Okay, it's good for a healer to have plus healing, don't get me wrong. But there are other stats that are just as important in certain and particular fights. For example, Naxxramas, when you do patchwork, there's a specific healer rotation which is needed in patchwork to heal the tanks and the off tanks. You can't spam out all your healing 24/7 while doing patchwork. Because of this rotation, it is there to help you with mana regeneration. So the good thing about it's a good fight to do as a healer, that is, because it teaches you about rotation with the heals. Who's going to do the big heals? Who's going to do the small heals? When a healer starts healing, when healers are going to take a slight rest to regen. It's a good fight as a healer. It's difficult, don't get me wrong, but it does teach healers about how to work together as a team. In that particular fight, mana regeneration is probably the most important thing compared to plus healing. And that is because you've got other healers in the raid helping you to heal, as well as pallies. And pallies are the best tank healers by far. They can cast Flash of Light. Their spec is crit spec, and they just basically get this crit all the time. So they are very, very good tank healers. Priests are geared towards AoE healing and group healing, but they can add tank healing benefits to pallies as well. For example, shield works quite well. Renews and heal over times take out the spikiness of the healing. If you have no druids in a raid, for example, healing is a little bit difficult because it's more of a binary heal. You heal from X amount to this amount in the bar, whereas a heal over time, you can see this ticking up quite a lot, especially if there's multiple heal over times on the target, and that does help for tank healing as well. Sometimes that's life or death with a tank. Pallies are very much binary as well. It's a heal or it's not a heal. Priests, the kind of a hybrid between a pally and a druid. You'll cast a heal over time, like a renew, and then you'll do a flash heal or greater heal, and you may cast a shield as well. So all those spells complement each other from different classes as well, and it makes it easier to heal, I think. But with a priest, mana regen is a big problem, and you need to prioritize mana regen over healing sometimes. For example, like I showed you before, swapping out the shard of this trinket for the shard of the scale there. With that, I wouldn't say that priest is the best healing class. There again, I wouldn't say the pally is the best healing class, and I wouldn't say the druid is the best healing class either. Priests excel in certain fights. For example, AoE damage fights. If Valstras in Blackwing Lair, priests are very useful because we've got Prayer of Healing and we've got Holy Nova. Be aware that Prayer of Healing does use up a lot of mana, so we want to talk about downranking spells. Again, you might want to downrank Prayer of Healing. Holy Nova causes no threat at all, so it won't cause aggro, but it does use a lot of mana up. But it's good because it does AoE healing and damage as well. So there's little things like that to consider. So you've got, as a priest, lots of different spells on your bar to use. The other spells we've got which aren't healing focused at all. They do something different. Mana burn is very good in AQ. Couple of trash mobs in there require you to mana burn them, so use mana burn if you can. You don't need to use it all the time, but there might be at some point you do. Now I'm getting aggro here, so I know to cast a shield on me. I know to give me a renew. I'm going to give Derek a big heal because I know I'm going to get a renew at the end of it. I'm going to cast a renew on the tank. I'm going to shield the tank as well. And that's all I need to do. So, okay, where were we? Mana burn. Yep, that's a good for certain fights. I always have it on my bar, just in case. Dispel magic. There's two types of dispel magic. There is the first rank of Dispel, which dispels one magic effect on the target, and there's a second Dispel, which is rank 2, which uses the same amount of mana, but dispels 2 magic items on the target as well. So you can also dispel trash mobs or bosses, because your Dispel will remove a benefit spell from the target as well. So you can use it for that. There's a couple of there's one boss in Molten Core which that's used for. Just heal the tank. I've got another healer with me, so it's fine. I don't need to worry too much about that. So the other spell which I use quite a lot is mind control. I've got mind control down here. Now, depending on the mobs that you're going to mind control, it will determine your outcome. There are some mobs which are great to mind control. Axe throwers in Zul'Gurub, for example, they are great to mind control because you can do that stun with them. There are other mobs that you can mind control as well, and it could get you out of a sticky situation. It's not used that much, but it does have its uses every now and again. Mind Soothe as a priest works quite well. So Mind Soothe soothes the target, reducing the range at which it will attack you by 10 yards. This means you can sneak past mobs sometimes, and also give the tanks time to get closer to the mob before it aggroes. Some mobs tend to have like a massive aggro range, like this big aggro range, and before the tanks even got near it, the thing's aggroed and the tank hasn't had time to press Blood Rage or whatever. Mind Soothe does help sometimes because it reduces the range the mobs will attack the target. So it means the tank can get in closer before they aggro. So it means they can do something or pop something or change stance or something. So that's quite useful sometimes. And then the last one, Prayer of Shadow Protection. If you can get Prayer of Shadow Protection in WoW Classic, that's a very good spell to use, because the old Shadow Protection, you had to cast it individually on every single person, whereas Prayer will just do a prayer to everybody. So that's quite good. So that concludes my advice, really, about priest healing. But we'll just continue the rest of this distance now, and we'll see if we can kill the last boss with no hunter. The warlocks are taking damage, but I think that's because they're AoE. Priest needs a shield. Sorry, the tank needs a shield. Well, he's back up now, so that's fine. Nearly died them. Just shield the warlock, the paladin. Warlock's got a renew on him still. Put another renew on him. Now the tank's got a renew and a renew. So I'm going to start using flash heal. The rogue is pulling aggro. The warlock's pulling aggro. We need to heal the tank. I'm getting aggro as well. So let's do an AoE heal. But I'm casting in a focus here, so I can do a prayer of healing to everybody. So we're all good here. And yeah, no major problems there. I didn't need to use a mana pot. I kind of knew everybody was going to be okay in that fight. Oh, we did that group as well. Okay, fair enough. We've got these two dragons here. So I'm going to use my third mana pot in this raid. Sorry, mana drink in this raid. A mana pot. Okay, we have got the dragons. Still drinking. Okay, that's enough mana. So let's that's something else I would say actually. Learn to get your mana quickly. Don't sit around waiting when doing nothing. As soon as a fight is finished, get mana. Because you don't know what's going to happen around the corner. There might be the odd thing that I think about that crops up on my head as well. Desperate Prayer. Desperate Prayer is quite good. In those sticky situations, you need to heal yourself to about 3/4. I use that quite a lot, actually. And it has got me out of some sticky situations. I'm going to get thrown back. Great. So I cast a renew in the air just to help me regen. So the tank is Going low, but I think we're all good. He's after the Warlock now. Warlock's gone red. And he's down. Oh, they're not bad actually for a rogue. Leggings for a rogue. There's the pally plate. Shoulders. This should be relatively easy because we've got a pally tank, so we can just go in there and kill them. So Gyumborg and Derek have picked up. The rogue going mad, so heal the rogue. Put a shield on him. Put a renew on the tank. Shield the tank. Oh, he's immune because I've cast one on him not too long ago. Heal the pally, heal the mages, heal the warlock, all the casters are at full. Snotra still got aggro, it's shield Snotra. Put a renew on the warlock there, and we're all good. And I've got pristine black diamond, nice. So I'm gonna get some mana very quickly. And Darak's just tanking there. Gumborg needs a heal. Rogue needs a shield. Warlocks are casting Nightfall. Shield the tank again, so he's got regular heal over times, so I can forget about him for a bit. Snotra's got aggro, let's shield Snotra. Put another renew on the Warlocks. I'm saying nothing. There's some weird things that get mentioned in guild chat sometimes, and it makes it interesting. So just flash heal these to full. So in terms of healing stats as well, you want to make sure you've got about 400-ish healing. That's pretty healthy for a priest, I think. Paladins, because they're using binary heals, you're either healing or you're not healing when you cast a spell. They tend to have more healing per second because priests renew quite a lot. In fact, you have a look at my number one heal spell is renew, which only ticks over for so much, so it's not going to heal that much per second. Hence why my healing per second is only 459. If you look at, let's say, let's just go back to a pally then. They'll have a lot higher healing per second on there because they're using crits a lot of the time. So they don't have any way of heal over time, so their healing is always going to be bigger anyway. You don't need to be high on the healing chart at all. You just need to make sure that you are healing at the right time. What I would do is have a lower rank long heal on a button as well, so you can cast it. For example, rank 1 greater heal or rank 4 heal on a button. So you can get a big-ish heal off, but doesn't cost a lot of mana. The Warlock's just using life tap. That's fine. But I think the biggest thing that helps me here is knowing the aggro on here. I'm not paying attention on what is going on in raid chat. Let's get a spirit on the group there. So now the pally's engaged. So we're going to get a couple of heal over times on the pally. We're going to get a couple of heal over times on the warrior. I'm going to shield the warrior. I'm going to flash heal the pally back up to full. I'm going to shield the pally. I'm going to redo my heal over times. Heal over times are just run out on the warrior, so let's redo the heal over time again. Oh, actually cancel that because the warrior, as you see, hasn't got any aggro. The aggro's all the pally. The mage has got aggro, so just heal the mage. Okay, and we're good. Get some mana very quickly. Again, it comes down to getting mana as soon as you can. So we shield the pally, we get a heal over time on him. That's the first one. Get the second one. Same with the warrior. Get a heal over time on there. First one, second one. Means I can focus on somebody else in the raid now. So warlock, rogue. Let's shield the pally. Can't shield, so let's get another heal over time. That one, first one's about to run out, so we renew that one. Mage has got aggro. Heal the mage. Heal the mage. And heal the rogue. And the rogue gets healed. We can shield the pally again because the cooldown is finished. And he's got a magic spell. So I just need to dispel that. And hey, so you hear that noise? That's me running out of mana and my buttons flash up there. It's something that I've configured. Sorry, no, I'm out of mana. That is my you need to take a mana potion noise. That is. It works for me. It might not work for everybody, but it works for me. Okay, so this is the last boss of UBRS now. Let's just move the aggro meter out of the way. I don't know how we're going to do this. I guess we're tanking everything, are we? Yeah, I guess so. So, we start heal over time on the warrior. We start heal over time on the pally. I'm standing in the fire. Let's get out of the fire. Put a shield on. I can heal myself up to full. Put a renew on the tank. Shield the pally. Shield the warrior. When my spell's cooled down. Oh, he's got he's immune to it because it hasn't cooled down on him yet. Put the renews back on the pally. Rogue's had aggro and everybody's standing in the fire, so everybody needs healing. So let's. Okay, so Derek's got conflag. That's fine. We can cast a big spell on Derek. We can heal him. Now I've got aggro because I've been healing that much. As you can see, I'm there on the threat list. So let's Snotcher's got aggro. Shield Snotcher. And the tank's got aggro again. So we can put a renew on the tank. We can shield the tank. And you know it's time to take a mana potion, but I look at the boss's health and he's dead nearly, so it's not worth it. So there we go. And he's dead. So that's UBRS done. That's healing, and yeah. Any questions you can post in the bottom. I'll try and answer them as well as I can. If you want any advice around setting up Voodoo, I can do that. Any advice around Healbot, I can do that. The only thing as I said, the only reason why I swapped from Healbot So Voodoo was the ability to do the heal, greater heal, renew element for the Transcendence set. With that, it gives you a smaller rank of renew, but you couldn't see that within Healbot on a target. But you can configure it on Voodoo, which is great. So I can basically show the difference between the two spells now. So if I heal me using a big one, you'll see that the tick is 236 with a rank 4 or rank 5 renew. What is it? Rank 5 renew. 236 for a rank 5 renew. And if I cast a normal renew, you can see there's 2 dots on me there on my character, so I can see the bigger heal. So the bigger heal you see is 396. That's a small. The other one's a smaller one because it's only 236. But having both renews up on the character at the same time is quite useful because it gives you more hot healing over time. Oh, you'll have to excuse me. My back is killing. I've been doing some building work today, and I'm just not used to it. So, so that's healing. I think we're gonna do. We're gonna do now. Oh, Valthalak. Okay, fine. So he's a pain in the ass here. So, yeah, it's a optional boss which is spawns for a class item, your tier set, dungeon tier set. I think it's a quest line for that. So we're going to do that as well. When whoever it is, Ollie is going out to get the item, I think. There'll be someone. Is he here? Yeah, he's back. I can heal him. Okay, this fight is 2 stages. The first stage is tank and spank and kill the ads. The second phase is lots of AoE shadow bolts and chain heal. Chain lightning, and we need to get a maximum of 30 yards away. I need to be in range of the tank so I can heal the tanks from here. So can I stand in the corner and heal? I can't stand. I can't heal Keftis. Okay, I can heal Keftis now. You can't see much because there's 2 casters standing in front of me. Okay, so he uses the thing and summons the boss. As long as I'm in range of the tanks, which I'm not. There you go, I am now. Now he's moved out of range, I need to get back in range. So let's heal over time on there. Renew. Let's give Derek another big heal. Let's put a hot on him. Okay. Rogue's Calacra, that's fine. This phase 2 is a bit of a nightmare. So they're after somebody. Gunberg at the moment. So I'm silenced. Right, I need to get max distance now. There. So I need to heal these up full. The rogue's in the way. That's a bit of a pain. Yeah, everybody's getting AoE now. So we need to... Oh, okay, not too bad. Okay, cool. So that's done. We've got Shroud of Domination. Okay. And Draconian Aegis of the Legion. Nice. Okay. Okay, that's done. Well. And we got a portal to Stormwind. Okay. So, that's it then. Any questions, guys? You can get in contact with me. And I hope you enjoy the video.